I must apologize in advance. Normally, being in this tiny studio, I'd at least try to pull the blankets over the bed, but my cats are the presidents around here, so please forgive me. So I've been seeing a very interesting take this week on BookTube. I've actually seen this before on Goodreads and stuff, but it's making the rounds again, especially in video form. And I believe it's both authors and reviewers saying that people should not be allowed to review a book if they haven't actually finished the book in full. There are people who agree with this, there are people who do not agree with this. I am on the side I don't agree with that. There have been books that I have not finished and I have reviewed them, but I will say that I have not finished this book. And I always make sure I've at least read enough of it. If I've only read like 10 pages of the book and it's obviously not pulling me in any single way, shape, or form, I'm just gonna take it off the shelves. I might put it in the did not finish shelf just so I know, but I'm not gonna give it any rating. I'm not going to give it any sort of review unless something about it is really, really bad somehow in those 10 pages. So one of my most recent examples that I could think of is Haunting Adeline. And I tried to give it a go because I've talked about how I just don't really like the way that dark romance is written. I have thoughts in my brain when it comes to my sex life and things like that. I'm into kink, but a lot of the stuff in the way that dark romance is written, it makes me worry because you know how there's people in the kink spaces that should not be in those spaces because they're actually very dangerous? That's how I end up feeling about that. That relates to that. But I at least decided I was going to try to give Haunting Adeline a fair shot and actually read it. And I think I got about 6 or so chapters in, and I could hardly do it anymore. And then I was skipping around to some scenes, specifically the very first scene that's graphic. And that's when I knew. I was like, no, I absolutely not. And so I did not finish it, and I'm not sure if I actually did anything with it on Goodreads and reviewed it. I'd have to go back and... Okay, I gave it a 1-star rating, but I did not actually write anything for it, and I have been meaning to do like a reading vlog of it. I actually started it, but it's been months now. It's been over a month. But I just knew right there and then that I could still say something about it. I read enough that I believe I can make some sort of an educated opinion on it. And I don't think it's wrong to warn people about things. I mean, people are pretty aware of how graphic it gets, and I think there's content warnings in it, but still. Or maybe I will say something about other, like, romance TikTok books that I read, and I'll just say, like, I couldn't get into the writing, and things like that, you know? If I've read a decent amount of the book to know that I have an opinion on whether or not I can actually get through it, I'm gonna leave a little review on it. Someone said in the comments of the video that I was watching that reading those reviews helps them learn whether or not they're gonna get into the book to begin with, or at least give the book a try, and I personally don't see anything wrong with that. Now, is there always a possibility of me possibly being a hypocrite if and when I can get my own book out? It won't be a novel, it'll be 2 memoirs, and then I would get upset if somebody didn't finish it and then they left a review on it and didn't like it. Yeah, because we're human and we're not perfect and emotions are complicated. Please don't think that I'm innocent in this situation or claiming to be innocent in this situation and then I wouldn't be like, but still. Goodreads is a place for readers and not for the authors, and I believe Reads with Rachel is the one who said that. I don't know if she coined that term, but I know she says it a lot. I think it's her that says it a lot. And there are some books I really try to give a decent chance to, like The Fifth Wave. I really liked the idea of The Fifth Wave. I liked the movie when it came out I thought it came out when I was a teenager, but no, it actually came out when I was like in my early 20s, I think. I'm forgetting my age and forgetting what year it is. I gave it 2 stars, and I had only read about 300 pages, and there's about 400 or something pages compared to Haunting Adelaide. I mean, that's a very large chunk of the book, and am I not allowed, I'm suddenly still not allowed to be able to review that because I didn't finish the extra 100 pages? And honestly, if it's a book that already has a high rating on Goodreads, like 3.5, but especially like 4 and over, I think the authors are gonna be okay. Like, the author of Haunting Adeline is not really going to be affected by my 1-star review when on a Goodreads it has a very large, high rating. The same with Bride. Actually, I gave Bride a 3-star, but I don't think my little 3-star rating is going to affect much on the 4.10 rating that it has out of almost 195,000 of them and almost 40,000 reviews. I don't know. Is Goodreads that serious? Because again, Goodreads is for the reader and not necessarily the authors. I don't know how important are Goodreads reviews compared to like Amazon and stuff. I'm not sure. Either way, I think that if you read a decent amount of the book, you should be allowed to say that you still didn't like it and why you couldn't continue to get into it. Especially if this person and I are going to have similar taste in reading, it's very helpful. Just, at the very least disclose that you didn't finish it, so that way we know. You can still have an educated guess, an educational read on the review or whatever. But hey, if you're someone who thinks that people shouldn't be able to leave a little review or rating, that's okay. It's something that we probably just aren't going to agree on. So with that all said and done, let me know in the comments what the last book you had to DNF was. I think for me, I did read Butcher and Blackbird, but it was more so that I started to skim through or like read really fast and glance over the closer I got to the ending because I just wasn't really getting into it that much. But actually not finishing was The Fifth Wave, and I closed that completely 300 something pages in. I tried to fix that enough from here since my cat has decided to eat now. So for more book content, if you would like, I have a book club tier type of deal on Patreon, so I'd love to have you over there. But if you would like to support the work that I do in general on here and on my main channel, if you haven't actually known about that or gone to check it out, I'll have that link down below. I would also very much appreciate it if you were able to subscribe if you have not yet. Trying to reach that 500 goal now. And I appreciate every single one of you that are here and will be here in the future. Thank you for taking the time out of your day to watch this video. I very much appreciate it. And I will see you later.